welcome to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbee. I'd like to encourage everyone on my Facebook friends list, everyone in my social groups, and all of my listeners worldwide. Please do me a favor. Hit that like button and share this video podcast with your friends. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. It's free. Help make this video podcast go viral by posting this link to your Facebook page, your Instagram page, and or on your Twitter page. This video podcast is available in 3 forms: audio, video, and as a written text in order for us to reach our audience. On my YouTube channel, you can watch my latest video podcasts. I provide direct links to our virtual store, my Amazon author page, our PayPal page, my Medium page, and our GoFundMe page under the About section. We look forward to having you on board with us as we embrace upon this exciting project. If you are listening to this audio podcast on Anchor, just click on the YouTube icon to connect with my YouTube channel. In order to follow along with my presentation, I strongly recommend everyone on my Facebook friends list exchange emails with me so that I can email you everything I do online. I encourage all of my listeners to follow me on my Medium page. This is where I post my transcript so that you can read my full speech word for word or click on the audio version to hear my speech. I use this platform to interact with everyone on my friends list and everyone in my social groups by giving Black business owners free airtime to promote their products and services. I give people in the faith community an opportunity to share the gospel of Jesus Christ. I give Black authors and ordinary law-abiding citizens an opportunity to share their special talents and skills to my listeners from around the globe. After the show, I offer my guest speakers an incentive by teaching them how to create their own podcast and YouTube channel to help them earn extra revenue. I also assist people on my friends list with creating basic websites, finding college scholarships and grants, housing, and legal services, all for free. I am not interested in writing and publishing more books, but rather producing quality Black empowerment films and creating successful Black businesses. I am not online to beg for donations. I want to exchange something of value. My thing is, if I am going to ask for something, then I'm going to have a product or service behind it, like my revised book or my virtual store. This video podcast is an extension of the grassroots community activist movement. Over here, we promote critical thinking while discussing social issues throughout the diaspora and on the African continent until the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago materialize. It's my hope through this podcast and through my social groups I can connect with other like-minded Black people, African people, Afro-Caribbean people, Afro-Brazilian people, and others who will work with me directly in turning my vision and plan for Black America and Africa into a reality. Once we get this film project fully funded and made and get our Christian business up and running, then I would love to invite many of you to Chicago, Illinois to speak or preach during our live events. Through the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago, we will help pay for your travel and hotel expenses pending on our budget and sponsorship. We will also compensate you for your time and talent. Our objective is to keep our community informed and connected. For those of you who appreciate all of the hard work that I'm doing on this video podcast, the best way you can show your support is by donating to our film project through our GoFundMe page or by purchasing items from our virtual store and help me get my revised book on the bestsellers list so that the world would take our cause serious. Our goal is to take your camp to the next level, the big screen. The proceeds from the film will put me in a better position financially so that I can purchase property for our Christian business, Ghettos of Chicago, buy office equipment, and hire qualified black middle class professionals who would make sure that this business will be effective and successful for years to come. Most of all, make our presence known in the African American community, starting in Chicago. Without support from the black grassroots and the global African family, then I am unable to do my job. 31 years of being overlooked and rejected has not stopped me from stomping hard for my people who are trapped in American ghettos. I provide all the links in the comment section below. Please mark your calendar for Saturday, May 27th, 2023. Theme, Get to Know Me. Time, 2 p.m. through 3 p.m. American Central Time. 3 p.m. Canadian Time. 8 p.m. West African Time. 9 p.m. South African Time. 10 p.m. East African Time. And 8 p.m. UK Time. Instructions on how to participate on the show. First, watch my video podcast. This is called Side A. After I finish my presentation, then I will open up the phone lines through Facebook Messenger. This is called Side B. You can interact with me in real time, either by voice call by clicking on the phone icon or by video call by clicking on the camera icon. Today's topic of discussion is as follows. Reviewing Joe Biden's interview with black celebrities during the 2020 election. Matt Walsh comments about colonization. CNN fires Don Lemon after 17 years. And John Leguizamo says Latinos build America. Our first topic, reviewing Joe Biden's interview with black celebrities during the 2020 election. Remember when Simone Sanders and Karine Pierre was caping for Biden during the 2020 campaign? I tried to warn my group members and my listeners about how these black sellouts were nothing more than Democratic shields. Simone Sanders told a bald-faced lie, claiming that it was the state who were responsible for mass incarceration, not Biden's 94 crime bill. These black sellouts don't give a rip about the African American community, nor the black youth who are suffering from senseless urban violence that is plaguing our community in every inner city in America. These sellouts are all about themselves. They have no sense of community. I recall back in 2020 when Joe Biden was running for office against Donald Trump. I encouraged my group members and my listeners to demand tangibles for both Democrats and Republicans in the form of reparations. Don't believe me? Then go to my audio, video, or written archives on my Medium transcript. During that time, I fell out with Antonio Moore and Yvette Carnell, the founders of ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery, because of their political slogan, vote blue no matter who, or vote Democrat, ballot down. At this time, I was trying to get them to come on my online talk show to discuss their political views with my listeners. They declined to come on my show, so I decided to look into their organization. What I discovered was they just rearranged the words from a respected black leader by the name of Norris Shelton, the founder of DAS, Descendants of American Slaves. To learn more about DAS, just go to my Medium transcript and scroll down to show and prove. Antonio Moore and Yvette Carnell were Democrat shields, just using reparations to get black people to vote Democrat. The Democrats use, quote, get your booty to the polls, unquote, as a public service announcement to target young black men who patronize strip clubs, encouraging them to get out the vote during the 2020 presidential election, which was an insult to black people. Notice they don't do this with other groups, only black people. Joe Biden went on several interviews. One of those interviews was on the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne the God. Biden said publicly, black voters, quote, ain't black if they're considering Trump. Out of all the political black people that Joe Biden could have interviewed, he decided to interview an entertainer, Cardi B. The Democrats have no respect for black people. I will play the audio version. Fair use, E.T.
Tell me what's your main interest in terms of this election?
I have a whole list of things that I want and I wish and I desire for our next president to do for us. But first thing first, never keep it a bug. I just want Trump out. You know what I'm saying? The truth, the hardcore truth. And also, I of course want free Medicare. And this is why it's important to have free Medicare, because look what's happening right now. You see what? We should have been having Medicare for a long time. I of course think that we need free college education. That's second. And I want black people to stop getting killed. And no justice for it. I'm tired of it. I just want more stricter laws that is fair to black citizens. And you know, it's fair for cops too. If you kill somebody that doesn't have a weapon on them, you go to jail. You know what? If I kill somebody, I gotta go to jail. You gotta go to jail too.
All right. The first thing she said was she want Trump out. Well, 90% of black America helped the Biden administration get into office. Now, look at all the mess we are in. The second thing Cardi B said, she wanted free health care. As I mentioned in my revised book, there are lots of countries that offer free health care to their citizens, like Canada. Unfortunately, in the United States of America, the white supremacist financial elites believe that quality health care should be only for those who have money. It's big business. Cardi B said she liked for Americans to go to college for free. I believe college should be free, and to my surprise, it was until Ronald Reagan helped create a bill to make it tuition-based when black people start attending college. To learn more, just read the article from the LA Times entitled, quote, Letters to the Editor. Tuition-free college used to be common in the U.S. It can be again, unquote. It's available on my Medium transcript under Show and Prove. College now is becoming obsolete because the high cost of student debt. Unless you're going to major in business, become a doctor or a lawyer. In Grecaio, Chicago, we will offer vocational training for those who are good with their hands and want to learn a skill to provide for their family. We will also offer an associate's degree program to help our students prepare for obtaining their bachelor's degree at a university. Cardi B also discussed police brutality. Now let's fast forward today. What has the Biden administration done about any of these issues? He never promised you anything. I found a video clip of Cardi B complaining about the food prices and all of the inflation that is happening under this administration. She is cussing a little too much for me to play it on this program. However, if you want to listen to it, I have it on my Medium transcript under Show and Prove. It would be entitled Cardi B Inflation Grocery Prices Under Biden. Black voters did not review Biden's track record. To me, this man was worse than Trump. He has done nothing for black people in 3 years since he's been in office. Biden has just cut another $2 billion to Ukraine. The only group who have benefit from this administration is Ukraine and illegal Latino immigrants. Black Americans have been voting 90% for the Democrats for 60 years, and yet black America is getting worse for our children. The reason why we are at the bottom is because our politicians don't feel they have to do anything for us. This is why like-minded black people is going to have to leave America because it's too many off-code black people. All I want to do at this time is get our film project fully funded and made so that we can build Grekai of Chicago for credibility within the African American community, Black America, and the black world. Our objective is to become the heart of the black community and to separate ourselves from those who mean us no good. I want to bring my skills to Africa so that we can have an international trade among our people. Please leave a public comment on my YouTube page about the topic. Most of all, share this video podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. Our second topic, Matt Walsh comments about colonization. The white supremacist financial elites maintain their system of oppression by falsehood. Case in point, Matt Walsh is the host on the Daily Wire. I found a TikTok video of him talking about colonization. Was good. So fair use TikTok.
Colonization was a good thing they did. The conquest and colonization and settling of this land was overall a good and noble and courageous thing. It is good that it happened, and we should be grateful for it. The people who came here and claimed this land were heroes. It was heroic. And they were heroes not because of the other good stuff, but because they came and claimed it.
As you heard, he said colonization was good. How they slaughtered Native Americans and enslaved our ancestors for 246 years. To him, it was good to violate women and children, as well as steal other people's land and resources. The reason why the white supremacist financial elites get upset when we demand reparation is because they feel everything they done was for the good for their people. This is why other countries from around the globe are starting to unify. BRICS, for example, which is an acronym for the 5 leading nations: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They're starting to stand against the Western nations. They're sick and tired of the West's hypocrisy. Please leave a public comment on my YouTube page about the topic. Most of all, share this video podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. Our third topic, CNN fires Don Lemon after 17 years. After 17 years of working for CNN, Don Lemon has been fired. I believe this video clip is the reason why this happened, because he was standing up for Black America. So Fair use, CNN.
So with due respect, I find your explanation reductive and actually insulting, including to black Americans, to say that black people today, compared to 1964 or 1865, haven't made progress in part because of the freedoms we secured. And the Second Amendment was part of the securing that freedom.
I cannot keep a thought if you guys are talking in my ear. So hang on 1 second. So to say that black people, say what you said again.
Black people secured their freedoms after the Civil War is a historical fact, God. Just study it. Only after their Second Amendment rights were secured.
No, we're not secured their freedoms after the Civil War. That is not. You are discounting Reconstruction. You're discounting a whole host of things that happened after the Civil War when it comes to African Americans, including the whole reason that the Civil Rights Movement happened is because black people did not secure their freedoms after the Civil War, and that things turned around. People were trying to change the freedoms that were supposed to
And you know how they got it?
They
got their Second Amendment rights, and they actually got the NRA played a big role in that. But today, down the line,
the NRA did not play a big role in that. That's a lie. That's not. The NRA did not play a big role.
This is just historical fact. But
not historical fact.
The part that I find,
because you say it's historical fact.
The part that I find insulting is when you say today black Americans don't have those rights after we have gone through civil rights revolution in this country.
You are sitting here telling an African American about the rights and what you find insulting about the way I live, the skin I live in every day.
Here's where you and I have
the freedom that black and white that black people don't have in this country, and that black people do have.
Well, here's where you and I have a different point of view. I think we should be able to express our views regardless of the color of our skin. We should have this debate without me regarding you as a black man, but me regarding you as a fellow citizen.
That you're sitting here, whatever ethnicity you are, explaining to me
whatever ethnicity
about what it's like to be black.
Whatever ethnicity, I'll tell you what I am. I'm an Indian American. I'm proud of it. But I think we should have this debate. Black, white, doesn't matter.
I think we should have this
on the
debate.
content of the ideas.
You should do it in an honest way and in a fair way. And what you're doing is not an honest way. Okay? We appreciate you coming on.
With due respect, Don, I look forward to continuing that conversation. Well, thank you.
Well, Don Lemon, he was on code with Black America and sharing American history. This dude from India don't know our history. He made himself look like an idiot. This dude tried to argue with Don Lemon about our history. As a black person in America, you can do all of the shilling for the Democrats. At the end of the day, they will not save you. The main reason why I am trying to build Ghettos Chicago is so that we as a people can heal from the scars of enslavement and for African immigrants to heal from colonization. I understand my role in life is to build a positive black institution in America with the help of other like-minded black people, African people, Afro-Caribbean people, Afro-Latino people, and Afro-Caribbean people. We will do what we can to help clean up the African American community starting in Chicago. We will also launch our African tours in order for me to lead by example and apply for dual citizenship in South Africa. Set up a local chapter in South Africa as well as shoot our second film. The goal is to lead my people out of the New Egypt into an African nation or a Caribbean nation where my people can be at peace. The white supremacist financial elite system is coming to an end. Ghettos Chicago is a new system, but we have to build it. Our ancestors built ancient Egypt and the Great Pyramids. Our ancestors also built the United States of America. I am called just like Nehemiah, who was called to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. I am called to rebuild the African American community starting in Chicago through my Christian business, the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. I know my message is not for all black Americans. Not all of you can receive what I am talking about, and that's all right. Advocates without a cause have no reason to exist. People who do not protect their advocates are people who won't have any advocates. If you're going to have a movement that's going to continue for the next 75 years, then you don't just rely on one man, you rely on an ideology. Life is too short to be going through unnecessary drama. I will run my Christian business the way I run my home, drama-free. I am not online for people to like me. but you will respect me. Those of you who are not part of us, we will pray for them, show them tough love, and keep it moving. I am glad to be able to use this new technology to get my message out there. But in order for us to be effective, we have to get this film project fully funded and made in order to reach the black masses. A large part of the problem has been that we've been isolated from each other. When I created my first group on a site called Gopher back in 1991, I was able to connect with other like-minded black people, African people, Afro-Brazilians, Afro-Latino people, and Afro-Caribbean people who saw the same problem as I did. When I started creating content on Blog Talk Radio as an audio podcast in 2006, there were nobody doing what I was doing. I used to talk about the history of ancient Kemet. I ran across a few brothers who only wanted to debate me. I tell them my sources and leave it at that. We can learn from the past. We can be inspired by the past, but we cannot live in the past. I have been immersed in this since I was a teenager. I need for my active group members to step up and be a team player. Our children deserve better. We need to move the cam from behind the computer and smartphone into the big screen so that the black world will know who we are. This will give us an opportunity to gather in public spaces like the public movie theater. Once the proceeds from the film start pouring in, then we will begin hosting live events at Ghettos, Chicago. That's the purest example of online networking, translating into real-life mobilization. The grassroots community activist movement have been around for 3 decades now. We want to make our presence known first on the big screen, then into the African American community starting in Chicago. It's our time to take the lead in Black America and in Africa. Stand up, GRCAM members, and help me turn my vision and plan into a reality. Let's show all these off-code Negroes who aren't taking us anywhere the door. We're an exclusive club. The most oppressed people on the planet changed the most powerful nation on the planet because we stood our ground. In Ghettos, Chicago, we will pool our resources and create our own institutions. The purpose of this video podcast is to inform black people what is going on in our society. A population who knows what's going on is a population that is hard to control. The white supremacist financial elites have been hoarding all of the wealth and resources along the lines of race for their people. I despise the white supremacist financial elites because they still treat our people like slaves. I will break bread with my active group members and my employees once we are able to get Ghettos, Chicago up and running, and our budget and sponsorship is intact. Before I cut and run to Africa, I want to make sure that I invest in the African American community and in our black youth, because in due time they will end up running this Christian business. We have to start banding together and coming up with ideas to protect our children. The dominant society agenda is well funded. They have a blank check to target our children. The most important thing you can do is to support our film project and help make this video podcast go viral. Please leave a public comment on my YouTube page about the topic. Most of all, share this video podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. The 4th topic, John Leguizamo says Latinos build America. John Leguizamo is going around lying about their history. How is it that Latinos built America when America enslaved our ancestors for 246 years? He is stealing our talking points. This whole black and brown coalition is just a myth. MSNBC is giving him his own show called Leguizamo Does America, unquote. How It highlights Latino excellence across the U.S. All of a sudden, Latinos are claiming that they built America and trying to piggyback off our reparations claim. Ain't happening. They're trying to get Afro-Latino politicians to co-sign them. After we get our reparations from the U.S. government, then we need to holler at these institutions, banks, as well as European nations such as Britain, Belgium, Spain, France, Italy, Germany, Portuguese, also the Roman Catholic Church. Please leave a public comment on my YouTube page about the topic. Most of all, share this video podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. Thank you all for taking the time to watch my video podcast. But again, as it pertains to my upcoming virtual conference, you can ask me any questions, It's going to be Q&A. So please mark your calendar, and I'll be willing to answer any questions that you may have for me. I'm not going to have a panel, and I'm going to do my best to try to use it on my laptop first. And if that doesn't work, then I'll just use my smartphone. But I want people to get to know me. And if you really want to see me in person, then I suggest that you would purchase my revised book, read my story first, and then make arrangements to meet me at the Harold Washington Library here in Chicago. Because right now I'm on a shoestring budget. I wouldn't have to be on a shoestring budget if my book was on that bestsellers list. But it is what it is, A lot of our people, a majority of our people, is full of Willie Lynch, and it is what it is. And this is why we're in the condition that we are. But again, I don't plan on doing this for another 31 years. My goal is to do the best that I can to encourage my group members and listeners that's listening to this video podcast to connect with me, and for us to just do the best that we can to raise the capital for this film project, so that way we can move to the next level. This is the hardest thing I have ever done in my life. It's very challenging, but it's going to be worth it because this is for our black youth. This is not for me. That's how come what I'm saying is that I want to turn it over to qualified black middle class professionals once I have my management team in place. And, once, we do these African tours, because I want to be able to build over there on the African continent and encourage our people to have dual citizenship. That's the solution, and this is going to be through this Christian business. Because what makes us different than other, I would say, black organization that, just go over to the African continent and visit and come back. I mean, that's fine and dandy. That's just like going on vacation. We're not going on no vacation. We're going over there to meet people from my African group, Grekai of Africa. We want to connect with or match black entrepreneurs with African entrepreneurs, black artists with African artists, so that way we can trade with each other. That's all. The whole 9 yards. But this, we have to build this Christian business, have to turn it into a reality. This will help reduce the gun violence in our inner cities and hopefully eliminate the gun violence. But like I say, it's so many of our people that's full of Willie Lynch. And, out of 12% of us that's here in America, I would say it's about 1 to 2% think outside the box like me and Sister Renee. And so I'm doing the best that I can to connect with those 2% that's here in the United States to work with me and Sister Renee to get this thing popping. It's not easy. And again, I'm not doing this for my health. I'm trying to invest in our generation, the youth, our future generation, our future leaders, and break this Willie Lynch mentality, because that's what's tearing us down. So with that being said, we're going to conclude the show for today.